Hi Sam, I was just gonna create a video going over the syllabus. The syllabus is pretty long for this course, just because it's a pretty involved course. It's 4 credits. Um, it's online, but I do think we should meet either on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, depending on, where we're at. I think the first week of classes, maybe we could do a quick Zoom meeting. And I can just ask you if you have any questions. We can talk about what is expected for that week, what you need to be working on, and then, maybe we'll just meet close to once a week. Maybe canceling every once in a while if there's, some kind of circumstance going on. But anyway, so this is a portfolio capstone course. I don't normally teach this in the fall, but since you're going to be graduating, we decided that you needed to take that this fall. So this is going to be an independent study, but it's basically like a full-fledged class. Um, so yeah, you can text me if you need to get a hold of me. You can email me in Brightspace or my EDU address. So the course description, it's the capstone course for the graphic design degree, meaning it's the end course basically. It illustrates how, visual design concepts can be used to solve commercial graphical arts problems. This course, the main objective is really to create a personal professional portfolio, uh, and it'll demonstrate your ability to, be creative, conceptual understanding, and then your communication skills as well. But also your client skills. How do you work with clients? The portfolio will emphasize layout, illustration, typography, and photography. So, some digital stuff and some traditional media stuff as well. So kind of a mixture of the two. And the portfolio really is intended to aid you in the establishment of a graphic design career. The computer in combination with various software will be the primary tool used for client projects. So we're going to be doing digitally based client projects, not fine arts projects. And I'm going to basically kind of serve as the art director on your projects. We'll regularly check in and we'll see, how the design is coming along. I'll give you some feedback, suggestions, that kind of thing. And then I'll set dates for things to be due so that you stay on track. And yeah, one of the main things you're going to be doing in this course is working one-on-one with clients to kind of gain some experience working with customers in a real-world environment. So 3 client projects. You'll need to complete at least 3 client projects of appropriate size and scope for this course. You'll need to complete all 3 client projects to pass the course. If you don't complete all 3, you're not going to pass the course. If you end up doing more than 3 client projects, that will benefit your grade and your portfolio substantially. 1 client will be provided to you by me. The first client, typically, I'll provide to you. And I will typically try to pair you up with something that is good for you, that I know you are strong at. Clients that are working with you, at least the ones that I find for you, know that you're a student, know that you're learning. But, with clients, just be punctual with client changes, practice good communication skills with your client. If you think something's going to take a little longer, just let them know from the get-go so they know what to expect. I don't think clients mind waiting longer for something, especially if you let them know how long it will take. It's just that communication is the biggest thing. And it's required to find 2 clients to work for, and that's required by you, the additional clients that you will work for. You can work with the same client as you did for previous projects, and clients can be friends or family. All projects will need to be declared and discussed with me to see if the proposed project is appropriate. So you'll check in with me on your projects before you begin designing. You'll get permission from me or approval from me on your projects before you start them. If it's too simple, we can add to it. Try to adhere to due dates. It's extremely important because you need 3 robust client projects by semester's end, as well as other things with this class. So one thing that you'll be doing besides the 3 client projects is a reworked project. Basically, you can choose any past project that you've done, and it needs to be digital in nature, so not a traditional media project, but a digital design project. And you'll basically rework that to get it looking its best. So maybe you have a past class project or even just a past client project that you have on file and you take a look at it and you're like, man, I feel like my skills are so much better now. I want to like change a few things about it and just make it a little bit better. So you'll have to do that for one of the requirements for this course. And then after you do those things, the client project, the rework project, we actually begin working on the portfolio booklet. This is made in InDesign. It's very much like the portfolio booklet you made, or not the portfolio, the InDesign booklet that you made for me last year in the fall. And it will include each of the 3 client projects that you completed for this course. Also with the client projects, quick note, do not use past client projects for this. I want you to use new clients. And anyway, okay, so back to the portfolio booklet, you'll include the 3 client projects you completed for the course, the reworked project. You'll have to, include at least 1 paragraph for each project. And you just need to outline the purpose of the project, client details, a description of the project stages, challenges faced throughout the creation process. You'll need to include the thumbnail sketches and then images of each round of changes that it went through, and then the final product for each of your 3 client projects. So it gets pretty detailed in the booklet of like how you worked through problems and how you came to a conclusion, and these are the stages that you took with written and visual examples. And then you'll include the reworked project in the portfolio booklet as well. I don't mean for this to say traditional. They need to be digital if it's a reworked project. So you can, touch up, improve your design, get it in your portfolio booklet. You don't need to include thumbnails and stages for the reworked project unless you wish to, but it's just going to take up more space and be more expensive to print your booklet. But you should include text about the purpose and goal of the project, the reworked project, and just a description of the challenges and some of the changes that you made to the reworked project. And then the ending section of the booklet, the portfolio booklet in InDesign, will feature your original artwork done in traditional media. You'll need at least 15 of those. You can take pictures of your projects with a digital camera, high quality, digital camera if you wish. For you, coming into Pershing is probably not an option because you're not here anymore, but you can also use your cell phone, especially if you have a really good, some students have like the new iPhone. As long as you use decent lighting to take photos with your cell phone, it works out well. You will need to bring photos of your traditional media into Photoshop and edit them to get them looking their best. And they need to be converted to CMYK color mode, and they need to be cropped, and they need to be, the levels probably need to be changed so that, you get them looking their best before you place them into your portfolio booklet. And I go through that in a video, and also I have a written document that shows you how to edit photos in Photoshop to get them looking their best for the booklet. Then you'll need to print the portfolio booklet. Some students did this at Media Reprographics in the library. Some did it at Florence Printing, downtown Havre, Montana. Since you're not in Havre, you're probably gonna have to have it printed somewhere locally where you're at. I think you're in Colorado. And I'm sure they can handle it. You can do spiral bound. Bound seems to be, the best option on 8.5 by 11 and 3 copies. So another requirement for this course is a physical portfolio. Basically, a large format physical portfolio is required, and this will house all your original artwork, the traditional media artwork like paintings, drawings, photography. At the final presentation at the end of semester, we do want to see your traditional media in person with you. I'm not sure if you'll be coming back for your presentation and be here physically in front of us, or if we'll be doing Zoom. But either way, we do want to see a physical portfolio with your work in it. And then we also do want you to show us your physical pieces via Zoom, if that's what we end up doing. So remember that a physical portfolio is a part of that. You can get those at any online craft store or in-person craft store. I know the bookstore on campus has it, but I know that you're not here anymore. So some things in the syllabus aren't totally geared towards you, but that's why I'm creating this video. The portfolio website, excuse me. So hopefully, you have a start on a portfolio website already, but if you don't, consider getting one ready. Is a great thing to have as you step into the workforce. So if you have one already, just update it and get it looking its best before the final presentation at the end of the semester. You should include all 3 client projects, the Reworked class project, the portfolio booklet, and any other projects, plus the 15 traditional media, and a link to your resume somewhere on your website. Your resume should be updated, formatted to current standards. You will print copies of your resume for all 3 faculty members that attend your final presentation at the end of the semester. The final presentation, this is the last thing that you'll do, finals week. It's required. You have to get that done. You have to be ready to do that finals week. We will schedule that ahead of time. You will have to find another faculty member outside of the graphic design program to participate in the presentation. So there will be 3 of us, myself, Joel, and then another faculty member of your choice. The student is responsible for scheduling the presentation. We'll get together and talk about that, what time works for you. The presentation duration should be approximately an hour. Remember to dress professionally, pretend like this is a job interview to some degree, and just make sure that you speak clearly at the final presentation, and that your presentation itself, like the slides or the website, you can also show your website and walk us through your client projects on your website, or if you want to make slides, for the presentation, just make sure that you have a well put together presentation, both visually, orally as well. It's good to practice the presentation beforehand so that you're not flubbing a lot. And you will need to present your portfolio booklet, your portfolio website, have a copy of your portfolio for each of the faculty present. That might be something that you'll need to send in the mail to us the week before. So, that's something to consider, that you'll have to get that done and sent, printed and then sent in the mail. You could also have it potentially printed at Floren's in town, like send the file to Floren's Printing in Havre, and then have them spiral bind them for you. And then you'll have to pay them with your credit card or something. You could also do that. That might be easier than trying to mail it. And actually might even be less expensive, because having to pay for mail would probably be kind of expensive, maybe. I don't know. So be prepared to discuss each of the projects, describing the design goals and how the goals were achieved. Discuss your abilities and how they're demonstrated by your work. Bring the physical portfolio to the presentation. We would typically set those up around the room, but we might just have to view those over Zoom. Showcase your strengths, minimize your weaknesses. Portfolio zip drive is required after the final presentation. You'll give it to me before the grades are due to the registrar, obviously. I want to have your native working files of all your client projects. I want a JPEG of each project. I want your portfolio booklet files. I want everything to be named appropriately. If you have InDesign files, you'll need to package those so that I can get the fonts and links. So here's the required materials for the class: zip drive, physical portfolio, subscription to a website management system for your website, personal computer, and Adobe products. Here's the grades. So client project number 1, 2, and 3 are worth 10%. Rework class project is worth 5. Portfolio website 10. Physical portfolio 5%. Portfolio zip drive 5%. Portfolio booklet, that's worth 20%. That's actually worth quite a bit. Final presentation 20%. Attendance, these Zoom check-ins worth 5% of your grade. Required to pass this course are all in asterisks. So there are certain things that are absolutely required, and those have the asterisk on those. So just make sure you get those done. Letter grades, pretty standard. Course schedule, this is just a rough outline of what it should be looking like. We'll probably adhere to this pretty closely. There might be some slight changes, but typically this is kind of what it's going to be looking like. Late work, it's kind of tricky, but I do accept it. Just try not to be late with too many things, because once you get behind, it's just really hard to get caught up in this class, especially. Attendance doesn't really, go with you on this class because it's online, but there's Brightspace technical support information here. So that's basically the course in a nutshell. And anyways, I'll get a hold of you about meeting via Zoom here soon.